Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. So if this is your first time on my channel, what we usually do here is I show a deck, tell you about the guidebook, the cards, show you a flip through of all of the images in the cards, and then shuffle and pick a card to read. I have timestamps for all of these sections down below if you want to jump to a specific section. Okay, so today we will be taking a look at the Radiant Crystal cards by Bouchette Designs. This is the first edition. So I got this as part of my Kickstarter for the Meraki 2nd edition tarot. And that is what the size of the box looks like. Oh, let's make the last card pull. So this is an indie deck. Enhancing perception of the world, the universe we hold within. Each of us is as dynamic and unique as the magical vibration of each crystal. Alright. Okay, so this is what the box looks like. There is no guidebook for this deck. And you have, let me just check. Okay, so you have first a chakra card, where you have all of the chakras and their meanings here. Then you have a welcome card for the Radiant Crystal cards. Tells you about the crystals in the deck, the chakras, and the seed of life. Now, the font here is difficult for someone like me to read. I have really bad eyesight. But she is coming up with a 2nd edition of this deck, which supposedly has a more readable and clearer font. Now, these are the cards. They are bigger. Hold on. They are bigger than standard tarot. So this is the ancient Italian tarot. I do believe it's roughly standard tarot size, maybe just a little bit narrower. But yeah, just to give you an idea of the size of these cards. It is in a rose petal finish, which is not my favorite cardstock, but we can work with it. And edged in this beautiful light purple. I love edging on my decks. I love it. I prefer it a lot more than gilding, and I really like it when decks come pre-edged. So how this goes is you have the picture of the crystal at the front, the name, and then the keywords, and then you have some more information like the chakra, the astrological sign, the affirmation, and the energies of this card. Now let's zoom in and take a closer look. Okay, so the cards are borderless, and it shows you a picture of the crystal. It looks like the real crystal. It shows you a picture of the crystal. It looks very realistic, but then it has these designs around the crystal that adds more detail. It is undoubtedly a beautiful deck. And I really like that the crystals shown, even though there's some additional design, you can still see what the crystal looks like. And I love crystals. I don't know if this is your first time here on the channel. I love crystals. I love associating crystals with tarot and oracle. I always have crystals on my desk when I do flip throughs and wear crystals. I also make crystal bracelets for myself. Yeah, so I am very much a crystal user, a crystal believer. And I love learning about the properties of crystals. I love working with them. And I do love to mix these two hobbies of mine, crystals and tarot or oracle together. So I'm always in the lookout for the perfect crystal deck. Perfect, in air quotes. And I have to say, as beautiful as it is, I still don't think this is the perfect deck that I'm looking for. I've tried several other decks as well in the past, and I'm just not... I don't know if I'll see it when I get it, but But I think the things that I like and I would want in a crystal deck would be to see the crystal as it is, just how it looks like. So this one, I don't mind that there's additional design. I also think that I want to have a really good guidebook to go with it. And for that, this deck is a little lacking for me, because it's mostly just the information that you get at the back, which is great for like daily pulls or casual readings. But I think, I don't know, maybe I just want something with a lot more information, but in a divinatory sense, or in an oracle prescriptive kind of sense. And I have had other crystal decks before, and this might be my favorite out of all of them, but the search is not over to find that perfect crystal deck for me. I do like that there are a lot of cards in this deck. I think you have, oh no, there's a lot. I think there's more than 50 but it's not listed on the box, which I think it should be. Yeah, but there is a good number of cards in this oracle deck, so I do appreciate that. There are some common and some uncommon crystals, some that I don't have. And even if you don't have that particular crystal, when you have a card, you can work with the energy of this crystal by just focusing on the card. So I like that, and I think that's why I like getting crystal decks, because I can't possibly own all the types of crystals, and it's also a good reminder to what these crystals are associated with, or what they can do for you, right? So kyanite, I'm more familiar with like the bluish kyanite, but yes, this color is also, I think it's actually a more rare version of kyanite. Clear quartz. The clear quartz here doesn't look like a clear quartz because it's almost covered with all of the other colors. By the way, I'm just being very nitpicky, okay? I do like this deck. But yeah, it's, I'm just, I'm not afraid to share my honest thoughts on this channel. I mean, I made this channel so that I can share my thoughts. And I haven't mentioned it in a while, but I do these flip throughs as a way to bond with decks as well. So I rewatch it and I hear what I think about it. I see the cards on the screen, and it kind of makes me see it in a different light. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does to me. So I am usually pretty honest when I do these flip throughs, because when I look back and watch them, it's like me telling myself that this is what I thought about a particular deck. I know I'm kind of weird, but the good thing about it is I also get to show you and share my thoughts about these really beautiful decks that I have in my collection right now. And I do like that aside from the crystal and naming the crystal, you have at least 3 keywords for each crystal that you can jump up from. Or you can, you would have an idea of what that crystal can do for you. I'm not too fond of this font. It is quite difficult to read, especially if you are going to be reading the section here. and rutheniated quartz. Alright, so I zoomed out so we can see how this shuffles. So since it is a bigger deck, since it is a bigger deck, it is kind of hard for me to shuffle it this way. I can still manage, but you know, there are some cards that would be... Oh no, I shuffled in I shuffled in the title cards. Let me just remove that real quick. Okay, let me put that to the side. Okay, yeah, again, forget about that. Okay, so let us shuffle. It is a little bit of a challenge because it is quite big, but you can riffle and even bridge this deck. Now, what I usually do with bigger decks is I either split it up into 2 piles, but it does take a longer time to shuffle it this way. Or I shuffle the corners at the top. It kind of makes it a little bit easier. Of course, you can also shuffle it this way. And yeah, whatever is more comfortable for you, you know, you do you. Okay, so since it's rose petal, you do see that it kind of clumps, so it's a bit difficult to shuffle it overhand because it is clumping. So what I usually do for decks like that is I cut it and then I just choose a card from the middle of the deck. So the card that we drew is Jade. So the keywords are stability, prosperity, and harmony. And if you would take a look at the back, okay. So the chakra, the primary chakra is the heart chakra. Honestly, I'm not that familiar yet with how vibration works. But I do know that you tend to... but for this association, the vibration of the jade is 5. The astrological sign is Libra. And then the affirmation is... having trouble reading it, goodness. My life is fulfilled with abundance, and the energies... Jade is a symbol of serenity and purity with a loving and nurturing energy. This stone protects the wearer from harm and brings in harmony. It helps release negative thoughts and stimulates ideas and dreams. And then you also have the dandelion, which signifies prosperity, harmony, and perseverance. So that's the Radiant Crystal cards by Bouchette Designs. It is a really beautiful crystal deck, one that I do like having in my collection. I am still on the lookout for... I say it's the perfect crystal deck, but I do know that it doesn't really exist. But I am still on the lookout for something that fits my practice more and, I don't know, feels better for me. So this one I can probably use for daily polls as a clarifier, as an advice card, or just mindfully pick a crystal that I would be working with for the day and channel that energy, the energy of the card, especially for the crystals that I don't particularly have in my collection. But yes, it's a really pretty deck. I do wish it was in a different cardstock. I do wish that the font is better, which is already happening. Now, if the cardstock on the second edition is actually different, I might consider getting the deck, but if it's just the font, then I think I would just live with my copy for now. Anyway, what do you think of this deck? Do you have it? What are your thoughts? Do you have suggestions for crystal decks that I might be interested in? Please leave them down below, because I love crystals. I really want to find something that would mix or work well with my practice, with my cartomancy practice as well. I want something that would, make me think and reflect and yeah, I might be asking a lot, yeah, and still learn about the crystals, because even though I've been working with crystals for more than, honestly, I think over 2 decades already, I still, aside from the very common ones, I still have to keep learning and keep reminding myself of what I can use these crystals for. But actually, it would really just depend on what you program them to do, or yeah. Anyway, I don't want to go into all of that, but I am still learning. I feel like I keep buying decks because I want to keep learning. So if you'll be suggesting something, I would really appreciate it if it has a good guidebook as well. Anyway, if you find this video helpful, please do click on the like button and do consider subscribing to my channel, where I post videos like this at least once a week. See you again next time. Bye!